Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. We know the mechanisms of how sleep works. We understand why it's essential. There are so many repair processes that go on within the physiology and in my opinion, the mind when we sleep. Unfortunately, here in the Matrix, it's very difficult to get good sleep for a handful of reasons, of which we've gone over a multitude of times here on this video, on this channel. Now, there's a little secret that is fairly unknown to most people about insomnia and bad sleep, and it has to do with lighting. You see, most people don't realize that when you turn the lights on, it affects the ability for your brain to produce melatonin, because the majority of the lighting systems that we use in our homes are equipped with unnaturally large amounts of blue light. Blue light is part of the color spectrum, and blue light is also contained within the sun. When we absorb blue light through our eyes, it instructs our brains to be alert, and it does this in a handful of ways, but one of the most integral ways in which this works is it tells your pineal gland to not secrete melatonin. Melatonin is a regulatory hormone that has an antioxidant effect over your entire body, and it regulates your circadian rhythm. It makes you drowsy. So when your pineal gland and your brain doesn't secrete melatonin, you don't get drowsy. And when you don't get drowsy, you don't get sleepy, or you don't sleep well, excuse me. So what's happening here in the Matrix is when the lights go down, most people turn their devices on that emit blue light, their televisions, tablets, smartphones, you name it. And this tricks the brain into thinking that the sun's still up because you're absorbing massive amounts of blue light. You don't secrete melatonin properly, you don't get drowsy, and when you do eventually go to sleep, you don't sleep well and it's interrupted. So again, this is a little secret that I'm amazed that it is not mainstream. Blue light and the effects of blue light is getting more traction, but in my opinion, there seems to be some type of an agenda to suppress this information because this is groundbreaking information. Lighting is huge, folks. So myself being an insomniac, I've gone for years trying to figure out, okay, how do I get good sleep? Do I need melatonin pills, which are bullshit? Melatonin pills are, in my opinion, very counterproductive to health. I've tried so many things. I've even tried, prescription. I tried one prescription once, and I took one half of the pill and I never took it again. I've tried stuff that was over the counter. I'm not going to name any names. And although that stuff works sometimes, you build a tolerance to it really quickly and it's just hard on your body. So, I've tried a handful of things, you guys, of chamomile tea and all the other herbal nonsense. And I'm not against herbs, but come on. People with insomnia, they're not going to get fixed with chamomile tea, please. Most people who have insomnia are around way too much blue light. Plain and simple. On top of that, a lot of people with insomnia have a lot of stress, elevated stress hormones. So we're going to go over two simple methods on how to defeat insomnia because this is one of the leading causes of disease, in my opinion, bad sleep. Did you know that in the early 1900s, people slept on average 9.5 to 10.5 hours a night? If you don't believe me, read T.S. Wiley's book, Lights Out, Sleep, Sugar, and Survival. So here's a little simple protocol, which we've gone over on the channel a million times, but I'm going to continue to make videos about this because I want people to fix their sleep issues. You buy an $11 pair of Uvex Skyper blue blocking sunglasses. They're big, they're bulky, and they're orange, and they're ugly, and when you wear them, your family's probably going to think you're out of your mind. Oh well. Sometimes in this unnatural world, we have to resort to unnatural measures to fix our unnatural problems. You buy your $11 pair of Uvex Skypers, and when the sun goes down or shortly thereafter, you put these blue blocking sunglasses on and you leave them on like your life depends on it. You do not take them off. And if you do take them off to maybe clear some fog in the lenses, you name it, you close your eyes while you do it. Then you put the goggles back on and you open your eyes again. You leave these UVEX Skyper glasses on until you go to bed. And when you sit down to go to bed, you make sure that you have all of your, lighting systems in your bedroom shielded. So no alarm clock with light coming out of it. No nothing. Pre-equip your room so that there's no light penetrating through. So that when you do take your glasses off, you're not inundated with a ton of blue light and artificial light, because we know through research that any small amount of blue light entering into the photoreceptors affects melatonin production. So what I mean by this is, like, if you followed this protocol properly and you fell asleep and then at 3 a.m. you woke up and shuffled your way into the bathroom and then you flicked the light on and you just got fried by the LED light, you're going to totally mess up your brain chemistry and your hormones. We are not designed to be just absorbing all this fucking fake light, people. So there's ways around this, and you can equip your house with different types of lights that don't affect your hormones, like the typical modern lighting, and we're going to go over that in the near future. But what you could just do is you could just grab your glasses and walk into the bed or into the bathroom. That's what I do. That way, when you turn the light on, you're not hit with all the light's not coming into your eyes. And unfortunately, the light does affect your skin. But simply covering your eyes with the UVEX Skypers is going to allow you to shield 90% or more of the blue light coming into your eyes that's affecting your melatonin production. So pre-equip your room so that there's not a lot of light coming. There's no light coming into the room, so that when you do sit down to go to bed to take your glasses off, again, you're not hit with a bunch of light. Now, you wear your glasses for a month straight when the sun goes down until the time you go to bed. And if you do this protocol properly, without cheating, without, taking your glasses off here and there, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to sleep better than you have since you were a child. I have a ton of people that I've worked with, and I've put them on this protocol, and 99% of them have reached out to me to say, holy shit, I sleep better. When my head hits the pillow, I fall asleep. By the time I go to bed, I can barely stop yawning. I'm ready to go to bed, blah, blah, blah. It's because you're actually secreting melatonin. When you're under the lights, when you're sitting in front of your television watching your shows and whatnot, when you're not shielded, your pineal gland, your hypothalamus, and all these regions of your brain are just being assaulted. Basically, it's like light shock therapy. It affects your limbic system. It affects every part of your physiology in your mind is affected by television, is affected by modern lighting. The television is a demonic system, folks. It is an absolutely demonic system. So there's one other method that you can use in tandem with this. No, I'm not recommending that you do this. I'm just telling you what I do. I don't always do this second piece, but when I do, I tend to sleep even deeper. But I like to cycle this, so I don't do it 24/7. I don't do it 365. Excuse me. I'll take breaks. I will take 3 grams or more of the amino acid glycine about 30 minutes before bed. Glycine is the most basic and simple amino acid. It's very good for lowering stress hormone, reducing stress. It's very good for calming the nerves. Glycine, ladies and gentlemen, has a very anxiolytic effect. It reduces anxiety, and it promotes deep regenerative sleep. A lot of people who have issues waking up frequently throughout the night, when I put them on glycine, they experience relief. Sometimes this is intimately connected to a blood sugar imbalance as well, though, folks. So you've got to look deeper into that. But glycine usually creates some relief. Before we get into that, if you wake up frequently, there's a good chance your hormones and your neurotransmitters are just they're not in equilibrium. And if you block the blue light with the UVEX Skypers there's a good chance you're going to start sleeping throughout the night. You see, all that light that you absorb through your eyes and the stress of the day, it affects your ability to stay asleep. And most people, this is going to sound crazy, when most people think they're tired after watching the television without blocking the blue light, their bodies are just exhausted. It's not like genuine drowsiness, because without melatonin, you're not really going to experience that. Your body's just fucking exhausted. And that's why a lot of people will fall asleep and then they'll wake up 3 hours later and they toss and turn. You're not secreting melatonin properly, and you haven't for years. You have toxic light syndrome. And this is toxic light syndrome is something a term that I coined to describe people who have endless summer syndrome for over a year. If you want to learn about endless summer syndrome, read T.S. Wiley's book, Lights Out, Sleep, Sugar, and Survival. Toxic light syndrome is when you've sat in front of televisions and been smacked around by the lighting systems of the modern era for more than 1 year of your life without ever blocking it. This is what destroys people's abilities to rest, to rejuvenate, to get good sleep. So again, this is the simple solution that so many people don't want to do, because God forbid you'd have to wear some glasses. And, it's like people oftentimes just aren't willing to do what it takes. So you can take 1 to 3 grams or more. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just telling you what I do, of glycine 30 minutes before you go to sleep. And if you do this in tandem with blocking the blue light, there's a damn good chance you're going to sleep better than you have in years. And over time, you're going to actually experience what sleep is actually about. Because right now, most people, they think that they sleep well, but they do not. Your body's just incredibly fatigued and tired and aging readily, and it falls asleep. You need to get your brain to secrete melatonin efficiently so that you can actually slip into deep states of regenerative sleep. You want your body and your hormones, your neurotransmitters, your melatonin, all of these things in equilibrium, and the lighting is taking us out of that. So again, blue light, block it when the sun goes down till the time you go to bed, and watch what happens. Peace be with you. I wanted to personally thank you for watching my videos and contributing to the growth of my channel. I could not do this without you, and your interest in my content is truly what motivates me and fuels my passion for making these videos and spreading my message. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to remind you that this channel is a free educational tool that is listener supported, and if you would like to donate to my channel and donate to my cause, help make my life a little bit easier and help keep the lights on around here, you can do so by checking out the links in the description box below. There's a handful of not only ways to donate to my channel, but I also have links to different websites and different videos of mine, as well as my Amazon store, where you can check out a plethora of different health-related products that I use and recommend. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your continued interest in my message, and until next time, peace be with you all.